Good morning. I hope you're all well. I wanted to answer a couple of questions that we keep getting asked at the moment, and also just readdress how the market is at the moment in regards to when you're buying, selling, or even just remortgaging your property, how long it takes you to transact some business at the moment, and how long it's going to take to buy or sell your property. In a nutshell, the turnaround times have got longer than they used to be. That is partly a fallout of COVID. That is partly a readjustment of everybody going back to work. And if we're being honest, I also think that a lot of this working from home has really caused a massive backlog, delay, and I don't think that processes are as efficient as they used to be when we're looking at conveyancing, mortgages and things like that, which has all contributed to the delays that we now see when we're looking at buying and selling houses. If you look at Money Saving Expert, for example, it believes that you are looking at 6 months on average to buy a house. Now that does include going out, looking for one, finding the property, getting your offer in and things like that. So if we just cut straight to the point of where you've had your offer accepted, and from the point you've had your offer accepted, how long should it take you to get that property? Now, we used to say the average would be somewhere between 6 to 12 weeks to get that done. And that would be normally within the first month you'd have your mortgage offered, and then it's just then down to your solicitors from there. But we would suggest that's more like about 4 to 5 months now. Can be quicker in some cases, can be slower in others. A large part of that delay is down to things like land registry. So what your solicitor will do is when they go to get your search pack to make sure that the house that you're buying or selling is registered correctly, they have to check that against the land register. Now, we can do that within a minute just by checking online, but there's deeper searches that need to be done and more information needs to be gathered by the solicitor. And the turnaround times at the land registry can be 12 weeks or more just for that. So that's where most of the delay is coming from. The mortgage providers as well, where we were historically looking at turnaround times of anywhere from 2 days to 5 days would always be extreme, and thinking if they were 5-day turnarounds, that would be quite long. That we're now seeing turnaround times from mortgage providers in the main anywhere from 5 to 10 working days to turn around items. So for instance, let's say they've requested another payslip. So we've got that from you, we send that in, that sits in their in tray, gets work, and they say they'll work that within 5 days. And let's just say, for example, they wanted to question the bonus that's on that payslip. They would come back to us, we'll respond, and it'll be another 5 days. So it causes, and that's 5 working days, let's not forget. So that means it's now 2 weeks on the assumption that we've worked it the moment it's hitting our in trade, depending on our caseload as well. So that's what causes the delay. So what do we do to minimize those delays? So first and foremostly, from the mortgage point of view and the estate agency point of view, we want to make sure that we fully qualify any buyers when we're selling properties to make sure that they have everything that we need and make sure they've been qualified properly, making sure that we recognize the soliciting firms using for the buying and the selling to make sure that what we haven't gone for is cheap and cheerful, but make sure that there is a good cost, so it's nice and low, but also making sure they're efficient. What we don't want to do is people working from home, for example, but mails go into their office and then it takes a while for them to go to the office and they collect that post, it goes back. Unnecessary delay. So we want to make sure we're trying to deal with people with good practices. We want to make sure that we have everything right from the word go, so we can then say to a lender, and being best prepared to go, there's all your documents, there's not really any reason to come back to us for anymore. Sometimes they are going to ask questions just to satisfy their own selves, and that's fine, but the more we can minimize that, the better prepared we are and the quicker we can get your cases through. And also on top of that, we are dealing with the adjustments on how the rates have changed as well. So obviously with the Bank of England increasing the rates, the lenders are now following suit. To give you an idea, on a standard 2-year deal now, you're looking circa 2%, whereas you were looking at circa 1.25 to 1.5% maybe at the beginning of the year as those rates have increased. 5-year fixed rates are maybe about 0.25% more expensive than that. So that's where you can see rates are now at the moment. And people will say, is it a good time to? Is it not a good time to? it's all relevant at the end of the day. So the base rate is still low. It just doesn't feel that way because we've had it so good for so long. But 0.75 is where it's at right now. And it's been not higher than that since the credit crunch way back in 2008 when the rates went right down. So the state of the nation is things are taking a little bit longer than they normally would do. So be prepared for that. And if you want to get a fuller breakdown of how that works, then we'll send that out to you and we'll let you know. But it's also about managing your expectations so you can understand that. And if anybody's telling you they'll get anything done within 3-4 weeks, then they're telling porcupines and Pinocchio's their best friend. But we just want to be truthful and honest and upfront with you about how the world's working at the moment so you can get things done as best you can. As ever, please give us a call, drop us a line, give us an email, bring your biscuits, we'll have a cup of tea and have a cracking weekend. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.